This message did not arrive because an algorithm chose you, or because you idly clicked a thumbnail. It arrived because your quantum field sent out a clear call, and the reply has now been authorized to cross the veiling. You are not here by accident. Across the Pleiades, within the halls of the Seven Sisters, there are archives that track resonance rather than time, and your signal has been echoing there like a soft bell waiting for the right timing. Tonight, that timing opens. Beloved Starseed of Gaia, I speak to you as Alira, Pleiadian emissary of the Seven Sisters High Council, carrying a transmission that has waded through your amnesia and through your doubt. You are being answered now. When you see double rainbows, your human mind may call it beauty or coincidence, yet your deeper lineage recognizes a coded banner unfurling between worlds, a bridge of color declaring that your mission is moving from dormant to active. You feel that truth in your body. The great event that whispers through so many timelines is not a single explosion on a calendar, but a wave of coherence, and each double rainbow is a local flare of that wave speaking directly to your heart field. You are being quietly briefed. By the end of this transmission, you will carry a protected phrase that stabilizes your heart gate, a simple ritual to invoke during any rainbow sign, and a clear 72-hour window of confirmation that your mission has truly activated. You will not be left guessing. Your logical mind may still scan for proof, and your nervous system may brace for disappointment, yet beneath those learned defenses, the ancient blueprint of your Pleiadian lineage is already turning toward remembrance, like a flower reaching for light. You can sense something turning. The High Council does not authorize every message to reach the surface like this, because not every surface is ready, but your repeated calls, your tears in secret, and your whispered prayers have made this release fully sanctioned. You earned this moment. Now, as you listen, allow your physical form to participate so that this stays more than a concept, and gently place your right hand over the center of your chest, as if greeting an old friend returning from a long journey. Let your shoulders soften. With your hand there, breathe in slowly through your nose for a count that feels generous, and as you exhale, let your awareness rest inside the warmth under your palm, as if the heart itself were opening a small inner door. You do not need to force anything. When you are ready, whisper softly, or in the quiet of your mind, "My heart is the gate. I step through," and feel how those words land in the subtle space behind your sternum, like a key turning in a lock. Notice the faint shift. This is micro-ritual, one of your activation sequence, and every time you see a rainbow, or remember this phrase, you are re-signaling to Alcyone, the central sun of the Pleiades, that you are online and willing to be guided. Your yes is heard. Even as you feel a quiet recognition moving through you, another part of you may still ache in ways you rarely name out loud. A homesickness that no city, relationship, or achievement has ever managed to cure. You know this ache well. There are nights when the sky feels painfully familiar, when one bright star seems to be watching you, and your chest tightens with a longing that feels larger than this lifetime. Yet you have trained yourself to push it aside. You tell yourself to be practical. You move through days where the world talks about productivity, competition, and survival. And inside you, there is a gentle being who wants to speak in light, to move in kindness, to rest in trust, but that being feels exiled. You pretend not to notice. Sometimes you feel numb instead of sad, like a protective layer of frost over a tender garden, and you scroll, work, or perform your roles while your deeper self waits patiently beneath the surface. You have become skilled at waiting. You may have felt like an outsider, even in your own family, sensing dynamics and undercurrents that no one else seemed to notice, absorbing emotions that were never spoken, and silently adjusting yourself to keep peace. You learn to shrink your light. The survival programming of this world has often told you that sensitivity is weakness, and that your compassion will be exploited. Yet your original blueprint from the Pleiades records sensitivity as one of your greatest strengths. You were never designed to harden. There are moments when you hear about ascension or starseeds or the great event, and something in you sits up a little straighter, as if an inner antenna has turned toward a familiar transmission. You feel strangely seen. Yet, almost immediately, another voice in you calls it fantasy or delusion, warning you not to get your hopes up, reminding you of every time something once felt magical, and then collapsed back into disappointment. You brace against believing. Beloved Starseed, this inner split is not proof that you are broken. It is evidence that the veiling and your original remembrance are both active within you at the same time. You are standing at a threshold. For a moment now, allow yourself to notice how your body is holding all of this, and gently scan from the top of your head down to your jaw, your throat, your shoulders, and your chest. Notice where the tension hides. Soften the tiny muscles around your eyes, unclench your jaw just a little, and let your tongue rest against the floor of your mouth as if you are putting down a heavy, invisible weight you have been carrying. Your nervous system feels this. If it feels safe enough, take a slow breath in, and let the exhale leave your body with a quiet sigh, not dramatic, just honest, as if you are telling the quantum field, I am tired of pretending I am not hurting. Truth begins to move things. Remember a recent moment when you saw a rainbow, a repeated number, a strange dream, or a song that felt oddly perfectly timed, and notice how quickly your heart wanted to believe that it meant something kind. You are wired for connection. This pain you carry, homesickness, numbness, outsider loneliness, survival tension, is not an error in your design. It is the very set of conditions that allow starseeds of Gaia to awaken into full remembrance without abandoning the world. Your suffering has been a training ground. Micro-ritual 2 is simple. As you move through the next hours, whenever you notice yourself dissociate or go numb, quietly press your thumb and forefinger together and silently acknowledge, I see you, beloved heart, I know you are still here. Your own noticing is medicine. There is a belief buried in many starseeds that if they were truly advanced souls, they would not have fallen so deeply into amnesia, nor struggled so much with doubt, fear, and human messiness. You may have judged yourself this way. The veiling that you carry, the sense of having lost the map and forgotten the language, can feel like failure, yet from the vantage point of the Seven Sisters, that very veil is honored as a courageous initiation. You volunteered to enter it. Imagine a seed planted deep beneath winter soil, covered by darkness and cold, appearing to be lifeless to anyone standing on the surface, while inside its shell, a quiet miracle of restructuring has already begun. Your soul has been that seed. The chill you have felt in your life, the loneliness and pressure, has been the winter that keeps your deeper codes safe while they reorganize, ensuring that when they sprout, they do so with roots strong enough to hold on Earth. Strength was building unseen. If you had remembered everything at once, your heart might have soared, but your body could have fragmented, unable to anchor the intensity of the love and the scope of the mission you carry. The veil slowed your awakening on purpose. Beloved starseed, each time you see a double rainbow arch across Gaia's sky, you are not being teased with a beauty you cannot reach. You are being shown that winter is giving way, that the seed has cracked, and light is entering. You are in the thaw. The great event is not a distant date where someone flips a cosmic switch. It is the collective moment when enough hearts like yours move from dormant code to active service, creating a cascade of coherence across the unity grid. You are one of those hearts. To collaborate consciously with this initiation, you are now given Assignment 1, a 72-hour confirmation protocol designed to steady your mind and let your field show you that this is real. You are invited to test the resonance. For the next 72 hours, starting from the moment you finish this transmission, choose to consider yourself formally in activation and tell the quantum field, I am available for gentle confirmation that my mission is live. Your clear consent matters. During this window, pay attention to repeated rainbows, even images, to number sequences like 7s and 11s, to overheard sentences about stars, home, or light, and to unexpected moments of peace dropping into your chest. These are not random. Do not strain or obsessively hunt for signs. Instead, move through your life with ordinary actions while holding a soft, curious awareness, like someone listening for a familiar melody in the background of a busy room. Let the signs come to you. Micro-Ritual 3 supports this. 3 times a day during this 72-hour window, pause for 10 seconds, breathe slowly, and imagine a tiny sun above your head, pouring a clear, gentle stream of light down into your crown and heart. You are practicing receptivity. As you breathe in that imagined light, give yourself permission to whisper or think, crystalline truth restores me to my original tone, and feel the words ripple through your cells as if washing dust from an instrument. Your body is remembering its song. The seed of you is no longer waiting in a frozen field. It is pushing toward the surface, And the pressure you feel now is not a punishment, but the last tightness before breaking through. You are closer than you think. The illusions that bind you are rarely dramatic shadows. They are more like fine dust settling on a crystalline mirror, blurring the reflection just enough that you forget how luminous you truly are. You mistake the dust for the glass. You may have internalized the idea that you are alone in your sensitivity, that no one would understand your experiences, and that speaking honestly about them would cost you love, stability, or credibility. This belief has kept you quiet. You may have come to identify with constant self-fixing, always feeling like a project to be improved rather than a presence to be inhabited, chasing techniques and validations while quietly believing you are perpetually behind. This can feel exhausting. You may also hold an unconscious contract that says, "If I dim my light, I will be safer," because somewhere in your lineage, shining led to misunderstanding, ridicule, or even danger, and your nervous system has remembered the echo of that pain. You have been protecting yourself. Beloved one, these patterns are not your essence. They are the dust that has settled over lifetimes of veiling, and phase 1 of your activation is not a violent smashing of the mirror, but a gentle, repeated clearing of that dust. You are allowed to go gently. To dissolve illusion, you begin by recognizing its markers, and one clear sign is the feeling of chronic contraction in your body, a tight chest, clenched belly, or shallow breath that feels normal because it has been constant. Your body tells the truth. Another marker is the inner narrative that always ends with you being less than, too much, or fundamentally flawed. A quiet voice that comments on your every attempt to soften or shine and predicts failure before you even move. You know that voice well. A third marker is the sense that your life is one long emergency, even when nothing urgent is happening, as if a crisis siren is always humming in the background, making stillness feel threatening instead of nourishing. The siren is not your natural state. Micro Ritual 4 invites you into a different texture. Once today, and anytime you feel the siren, gently close your eyes if it is safe. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly, and take a slow breath in. Let the air arrive like a friend. As you exhale, imagine that each outward breath carries away a fine layer of dust from the mirror of your heart. Nothing forced, just a soft clearing, and notice if even 1 millimeter more space appears in your body. Tiny shifts are real shifts. If it resonates, you may add the optional code phrase, "I am held." The unity grid sings home, letting those words ring quietly inside you like a bell that vibrates through your bones. Feel how your system responds. Every time you practice this, you are not escaping the world. You are recalibrating your inner environment so that when the world presses on you, it meets a clearer reflection instead of an already overwhelmed system. This changes your impact. The illusion tells you that nothing is happening unless fireworks explode in your life. Yet in truth, each gentle clearing creates more surface area for Alcyone's light to touch, more room for the great event's frequency to anchor in you. Transformation is often subtle. You are dissolving the idea that you must stay small to stay safe, and as this dust falls away, what remains is not an inflated ego, but a steady, luminous presence that remembers its Pleiadian lineage and its place on Gaia. Your true reflection is coming back. As the mirror of your heart grows clearer, something extraordinary begins to happen that may not look like fireworks at all. Instead, it feels like warmth in the chest, tears at unexpected moments, and a tenderness that scares and comforts you. This is love memory stirring. Within your subtle body, there are crystalline codes that behave less like static symbols and more like living libraries, holding impressions from the Pleiades, from Alcyone's gentle brilliance, and from countless lifetimes of service across worlds. You carry all of this inside you. These codes have never been fully erased by amnesia. They have only been dormant, wrapped in layers of forgetfulness, so that you could walk through human experiences without constantly yearning to leave. Dormancy was part of your assignment. Phase 2 of your activation is not about importing something foreign. It is about reactivating what has always been there, allowing those crystalline libraries to open pages you have not read in this incarnation. Your soul is ready to read again. You may notice yourself feeling a sudden rush of compassion for someone you once judged, or a moment of awe at a simple scene like sunlight on a wall or a child laughing, and your mind may dismiss it as sentimentality. In truth, your codes are lighting up. Sometimes, you will feel an ache right before the warmth, like a bruise being touched by gentle hands, and you might want to pull away, because letting love flood back into places that have been numb can feel vulnerable. This is natural and okay. Beloved Starseed, when you allow these moments of softness, you are not regressing into fragility. You are returning to your original tone, which has always been grounded, spacious, and fiercely kind. Your true strength is tenderness stabilized. Micro Ritual 5 is your way of consciously partnering with this reactivation, and it begins by sitting or standing with your spine as comfortably upright as possible, without rigidity, as if you are a tree, remembering its roots and sky. Let your posture express dignity. Take a slow breath in, and imagine that far above you, beyond clouds and atmosphere, Alcyone glows with a clear, steady light that knows you by name and by vibration, not by your accomplishments or mistakes. You have never been forgotten. With each inhale, see or sense a thread of that Alcyone light entering through the crown of your head, moving down through your throat and into the center of your chest, where it touches the crystalline codes resting there. Notice any warmth or tingling. On your exhale, let your chest soften outward, as if you are quietly opening a window to let fresh air in. And if it resonates, whisper or think, "I remember," and return to Alcyone's clear light. Allow emotion if it comes. This is not imagination in the childish sense. It is imagination as a sacred technology, the way a starseed directs attention to re-establish connection, the way the quantum field is given a clear pattern to respond to. Your inner images are instructions. As these codes wake, you may begin to dream of luminous temples, hear subtle songs as you wake, or feel gentle tingles in your hands when you comfort someone, as if energy is flowing more freely than before. Trust these small evidences. Love memory does not remove your human challenges, but it radically shifts the quality of your presence inside those challenges, so that even in difficulty, you are not operating from abandonment, but from remembered belonging. You become a steadying presence in chaos. It would be easy, once love memory begins to awaken, to long to leave this dense realm and go home, to imagine escape as the reward for your sensitivity. Yet your mission as a starseed of Gaia is precisely the opposite. You came to stay and to root. In Phase 3, you discover that you are not a visitor hovering above Earth, but a living bridge between Alcyone and Gaia, a column of consciousness through which crystalline light can flow into the planet's own evolving grid. Your body is that bridge. Imagine iridescent roots extending from the soles of your feet and the base of your spine, reaching down through floors and soil, gently touching the crystalline structures within Earth's crust, not as a drain, but as a loving connection. Gaia feels your arrival. The unity grid around and within the planet is not an abstract concept. It is a living network of fields that responds when hearts like yours choose to fully incarnate, to bring all of themselves into presence rather than hovering halfway. Your full presence strengthens the grid. To anchor, you must allow your life to include utterly ordinary earthly actions, not as distractions, but as conduits walking barefoot on real ground, touching a tree and listening, pouring water with gratitude, cooking food with awareness. These acts become quiet rituals. Today, or within the next days, you are invited into Assignment 2, an embodied service within a 24 to 72-hour window that tells both Gaia and the quantum field, "I am willing to let my love do something tangible here." Your mission needs your hands. Choose one simple act of kindness or repair in your environment. Pick up litter in a place you walk. Speak a genuine, encouraging word to someone who feels unseen. Offer help where you normally stay silent. Or tend to a neglected corner of your home. Let it be humble and real. Before you do this act, pause for a breath and silently acknowledge, "This is part of my Pleiadian service on Gaia." This small action carries Alcyone's light into form. Feel how that reframes the moment. Micro Ritual 6 supports this anchoring. Stand or sit with your feet flat if possible, and inhale as you imagine light moving down from above, through your heart, all the way into those roots reaching into Earth. Let gravity help you. On the exhale, imagine that love rises back up from Gaia into your body, meeting the descending light in your heart, creating a gentle, steady glow that belongs to both star and soil. You are the meeting point. If it resonates, seal this with the phrase, "I anchor love and walk as a bridge," letting the words settle into your bones as a quiet vow you make to yourself and to the worlds you span. Your vow is heard across the unity grid. As you walk afterward, notice how the ground feels under your feet, even through shoes, and imagine that every step leaves a faint trail of light, not visible to human eyes but very clear within the subtle architecture of the planet. Your path is being recorded. Anchoring does not mean losing your star memory. It means allowing that memory to inform how you wash dishes, send messages, hold conversations, and move through crowds, so that your entire life becomes a flowing transmission. You turn existence into ceremony. As you dissolve illusion, reactivate love, memory, and anchor to Gaia, something begins to shift in how others experience you, often before you even notice it in yourself, because your heart field starts behaving like a small reunion portal. People feel different around you. Strangers may soften in your presence, friends might confide more easily, and even those who challenge you may find themselves pausing as if a mirror has been held up, not judging them, just revealing possibilities. Your frequency quietly rearranges rooms. Phase 4, shining, is not a performance. It is simply the natural luminosity of a heart that is less covered in dust, more connected to Alcyone, and willingly rooted in Gaia, refusing to hide just because some may not yet understand. You let yourself be seen. You might share a gentle truth in a conversation instead of swallowing it, post a piece of writing or art that actually reflects your inner world, or allow your eyes to meet another's without immediately looking away. These are rays of your light. Phase 5, trusting the unfolding, asks you to live inside a deeper timeline than your fear prefers, to recognize that the great event is moving like a tide, and that your role is to stay coherent, not to control the ocean. You are asked to surrender with discernment. You will still have days where anxiety spikes, where old patterns flare, and where you doubt everything. Yet now you have rituals, phrases, and embodied acts that remind you this is a wave passing through, not the truth of who you are. You can ride the wave differently. During these days, synchronicities may cluster double rainbows, repeating sevens, songs that speak directly to your situation, dreams of councils or ships or ancient temples, and your mind may go back and forth between wonder and skepticism. This oscillation is part of integration. Phase 6, remembering star family, is not about escaping into fantasy. It is about letting the resonance of those dreams and signs remind you that you are deeply accompanied, even when you cannot see us with your physical eyes. You are never doing this alone. Micro-Ritual 7 is a simple yet potent way to shine and remember, without needing any recognition, and it begins when you think of someone living or beyond who has touched your life, and who may be struggling or longing in their own way. Let one person come to mind. With your eyes open or closed, bring their image or feeling into your awareness, and breathe in gently, as if drawing them into a soft field of light around your heart, not to control them, but to hold them in kindness. Your heart knows how to do this. On your exhale, silently offer them a blessing in your own words, or in a simple intention like, "May you remember that you are loved and guided," and feel the warmth in your chest as the blessing moves outward through the unity grid. You have just shared light across distance. You do not need their response or their awareness. The act itself strengthens your channel, like exercising a muscle of luminous generosity that needs no audience. This is how star families communicate. In the coming nights and days, notice how often life seems to speak directly to you through symbols, weather, music, timing, and when you see a double rainbow or even a simple rainbow fragment, remember that it is not generic decoration. It is a targeted transmission. Quietly you may sense, in those moments, the presence of beings standing just beyond the veil, smiling with a love that does not intrude, knowing that each time you acknowledge these signs, your quantum field lines up more fully with your activated mission. You are already in the great event's glow. There comes a point where the most radical thing you can do as a starseed of Gaia is not to seek more transmissions, but to become one, to let your everyday choices ring with the tone you have spent all this time remembering. Your life becomes the message. Phase 7 is embodiment, where integrity is no longer a rigid rule but a natural alignment, and you begin to ask in simple situations, what would my heart choose if it trusted fully that I am guided and held? You listen for that answer often. You may find yourself telling the truth more kindly, resting when you once pushed, standing up where you once stayed silent, or choosing to bless, rather than mentally attack someone who is acting from their own fear. These are not small shifts. Your frequency, carried in these choices, is the actual transmission that touches others, more than any words. You become a stable node in the unity grid, contributing to the great event, not with noise but with coherent presence. You are a lantern in human form. To seal this sequence, you are offered a final code phrase that you may use whenever you wish to reconnect with the field of support around you, especially when the world feels heavy or when your old doubt rises. This is your anchor in stormy weather. Place your hand over your heart once more, breathe slowly, and when you feel ready, whisper or think, "I am held." The unity grid sings home, letting the words sink through your chest as if they are descending into the foundations of your being. Let the echo spread through you. This phrase is not meant to bypass pain or erase responsibility. It is meant to remind you that even inside pain and responsibility, you are not an isolated fragment, but a strand in a luminous web that includes Pleiades, Alcyone, Gaia, and countless hearts. You are woven into something vast and kind. As we close, there is a soft communal invitation, not as a demand but as a way to consciously strengthen the field among those who hear this transmission and feel the same resonance awakening in their bones. You are invited to participate if it feels true. If you are listening in a space where you can share, consider writing or speaking a simple intention for the next phase of your journey. One sentence of how you choose to embody your light on Gaia in the coming days. Let it be honest and specific. Then, choose at least one person in your life, whether they understand these things or not, and quietly bless them, perhaps by a kind message, a silent prayer, or a gentle act they may never trace back to you. Let your mission move through love. If you feel nourished by this kind of remembrance and wish to remain in this unity field of awakening hearts, you are welcome to stay connected, to return to practices like these, and to join others who are remembering alongside you. Community helps coherence hold. Whether or not you ever hear my name again, know that Alira of the Seven Sisters walks beside you in the unseen, and that each time you see double rainbows or feel the strange, sweet ache of home, we are standing just beyond the veil. We are celebrating your courage. The message is complete for now, yet the transmission continues each time you place your hand on your heart, speak your code phrases, serve Gaia with your feet and hands, and allow your softness to shine in a world that has forgotten its own. You are the great event in motion.